It's a massive week for Northampton Saints and Alex Mitchell.
I want to get the ball up fast, want to test the breakdown, test defenders, a lot more space, a lot more time on the ball.
Because he's making his pod debut.
Mate, what do you want to talk about, mate? Just chill out, just go to bed.
We'll be asking him about room with Henry Pollock and telling him how Lions forfeits work.
And he's the worst person to play golf with. Doesn't pick up the flag, walks over your line. He wants to put an air tag in the line. I'm taking that air tag out, binning it, and just nicking the line every week.
I'm Ben Youngs, he's Dan Cole, for the love of European rugby. Brought to you by JQ.
JQ are the official automotive partner of the Investec Champions Cup and the EPCR Challenge Cup. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button and also click subscribe.
It's a big weekend for me and you, Coley, in front of the telly as we watch the two finals.
Northampton are playing Bordeaux. Tickets available. The link is in our episode description if anyone fancies a great day out in Cardiff.
Saints, England and Lions scrum half now. Alex Mitchell is here. Mitch, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, thank you, lads. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
guys.
Just take us back to that day, the announcement. We saw the videos online, all you lot watching it together. So training finished. Was it halfway through training? Like, did Dow say, boys, we'll all watch it together? How did that unfold?
No, it was actually a day off, and a few boys thought we just turned up together in Saints kit to watch it, but we actually had a Saints kit launch for the kit next year, which is Howling, by the way. And then we obviously then afterwards we waited. A few of the forwards waited, and we just watched it. But obviously, I don't know what it was like for you boys, but it was like a 45-minute wait. It's like that nervous energy. Beforehand, they were like, "Are you happy to be filmed?" And we were a bit like, "I'm not sure we are happy to be filmed here. Like, it could be a bit awkward if some of us don't get in or whatnot." And at the end, we ended up doing it, and it's actually quite good, like having the boys there. I think if I was at home watching it and watched the announcement and watched my name go on, probably would have felt a bit flat afterwards. But to have the boys there was actually quite nice, and to see them getting as well, it was actually a class experience, I'd say.
No, it was awesome, mate. I was honestly, me and Coley were so delighted for you. And all the Saints boys, all the English lads that got picked. It was awesome to see, but I think having that memory of all being together in that video is pretty awesome, because a lot of people, well, they should realise now, is you guys find out exactly when everyone else does. You know, you get no heads up. So that is pure emotion and rawness, the footage that everyone got to see.
Yeah, it's weird, obviously, because I've heard from previous years, I think I spoke to Courts and Dan Bigger about they didn't hear anything. I was like, nah, surely they get a text or an email or whatnot. And then literally hear nothing at all. So I'm like, I'm not sure if I've got a shot here. And you just feel like it's weird. Like, you just, with England and stuff, you always get a bit of an inkling. But yeah, with that, you literally hear nothing. But I think it's quite cool. Like, it's quite raw, and the emotions of actually waiting for your name is cool. And it's quite a relief when you hear your name. And yeah, he was actually, I think it's a cool way to do it, to be fair to him.
With obviously Pollock being like the bolter, Fremo's sort of been talked up a load, and Finn Smith with the battle of the 10. Do you feel like you've flown under the radar? I mean, you play for the Lions, it's a massive thing, and it's like, you know, it's almost you're not getting your credit, because it's sort of like, it was almost expected for you in some regards, whether the boys are a bit more bolters, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't say expected at all, but yeah, I quite like going under the radar. I mean, let them have the limelight. Pollock and Finbar love it. And it's class to see him. I think seeing a 20-year-old get in like that and seeing his genuine reaction was huge. And yeah, I didn't mind it. I was just waiting for my name. I didn't even hear my name. I just heard Alex, and then the boys jump on me. So I was like, oh, that's class. I'm guessing I'm in. And then I think Finn was the last name, so I think we're waiting for him. And I knew he was probably going to get in, but I was obviously a bit anxious waiting for him. And I'd actually probably more buzzing for them than for me getting in, just to see their reactions and stuff. And then afterwards, we all went out and phoned our family, and it was quite nice to see their faces, calling their parents, and their faces just blow up. A few of the lads were in tears, and it was actually really nice to see it in that sense.
It's wicked to see like a group of you lot do it as well. Self and Coley did in 2013, and there was like 6 of us Leicester lads. And I think when you go as a group of your club mates and everything like that, and you've sort of shared that journey together, it makes it even more unique.
Yeah, I think it's class. I think it's the first time Saints have ever had 4 people in it. It's like a bit of history, and to have like some of your best mates to also go on the tour, hopefully is huge. Yeah, I personally can't wait. It's going to be pretty cool, and yeah, hopefully get on that plane now.
Who do you want to run with, Mitch? You can't pick an English player, but out of the squad that got announced, who are you looking forward to getting to know?
It's a good question. I probably wouldn't pick Pollock anyway. I've had him last week, and he's just constantly talking. He's up till midnight going, mate, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, just chill out, just go to bed. But I don't know, I think like someone in like a 10-12 position, like a Finn Russell or Tuipulotu or anyone like that. Apparently Hugo Keenan's a bit of a character, so I'd like to room with him. But yeah, any of the boys. I think a back. I don't really like room with forwards. They're normally a bit minging, but yeah, wouldn't mind a decent back.
Yeah, I'm not too upset about that, mate. It's fine. Forwards like to stick together anyway, so it's that's perfect, really.
So I've got a question for you, lads. I think the first thing is when Pollock got chose, I think he spoke to I think it was Kenny Logan, and he said the youngest gets to upgrade 4 people to first class from business. And I wonder if that's true or that's an old-fashioned thing. And the other thing is, what kind of forfeits go on tour?
When we went to Australia, the first class tickets were pulled out of a hat.
So not the youngest.
No, it wasn't the youngest. No, it wasn't the youngest. The youngest didn't get a pick. But because I remember it, because it was like Tipperick, Cruz, Marler, and basically they got the air stewardess in that first class to decide which one the biggest nose. So that's how I remember it.
I could have a chance here then. Just walk on like that, walk on sideways. There it is.
Well, you've got a
Just
chance,
need to
Mitch,
rig a seat.
unless Justin Tipperick gets a late call up, then you're fucked, mate.
Jesus Christ.
And then in terms of like forfeits, I remember the was it Australia where basically someone had to ring their club coach, didn't they? And basically, I think had a forfeit was like you had to ring your club coach if you fucked up for late for training or wore the wrong kit, whatever it is. I think there's some like the usual ones we have to wear like a suit to dinner, but I think the worst one was ring your club coach and either tell him that you want to kick a goal or tell him that you want to be club captain, and that was awkward for several.
That's an awkward one, isn't it?
That was Zebo had to do that one, and then there's like I think you had to go for dinner with Gats, wasn't it? That was one, a dinner for 2, just you and Gats. That was a forfeit. One-on-one, mate. One-on-one. It was dance for a minute to no music. That's always a minging one, that one.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think there was definitely suits to and from training, Coley. Definitely that as well.
Yeah.
And was there I want to say there was like a certain amount of pints of milk. You had to do a certain amount of pints of milk in a...
Did you? I don't remember that.
In a time frame. But, don't know, mate. I'm going back way too long here, Mitch. But yeah, the embrace it, mate. It's one of the best experiences you'll ever do. It'll be amazing. Honestly, it will be amazing. So embrace the forfeit. Are you a bit nervous, mate, that you might be picking up a few fines?
Yeah, I'm more nervous for that. We're just gonna keep nicking Pollock's lion and just be like, he's got another one. Game. He wants to put an air tag in the line. I'm taking the air tag out, binning it, and just nicking the line every week. That's what I'm doing.
Do you think that you Saints lads will be doing everything you can to create chaos for Pollock with the lion?
Oh yeah, I've already been thinking about it. I'm like, how do we get that lion? How do we get him in trouble? Because he'd probably love it. He loves that sort of stuff. Get the camera on him. So yeah, I'm already thinking of hatching a few plans to try and get him.
When the lads from Wales, Scotland and Ireland kind of meet Pollock and get to know him like you guys know him, like what will surprise them about him?
I think they'll probably quite like him. I think they'll just, his confidence straight away, he's coming up to you chirping, probably trying to tear you about something. But no, I think they'll enjoy him. They'll enjoy his company. Obviously, you take him with a pinch of salt. If he's getting into you, don't try and take it too seriously. But no, he's a good bloke, and no, I think most of the boys will like him. He's probably a bit like Marmite. You either love him or hate him. But yeah, it'd be interesting how he goes down with the boys.
I think when people are just genuine in regards to, you know what I mean? That's what I say. I think rugby teams run on. But when people are just genuine, and whether they are mad or not, it's just, if that's who they are, then people end up loving them. You know what I mean? It's when it's kind of like an act, which I'm not saying it is an act, but when it's sort of put on, people are a bit like put off. But when someone's just genuinely out there, I mean, they're fully embraced, don't they?
Yeah, well, he's very authentic. I think when I first saw him at England 20s, and he's always getting the limelight and he's waiting for the camera, I was like, he just wants the camera. But when you actually get to meet him, he's always like that. So he's just, it's actually what he's like. So you can't have a go at him. He's just genuine like that. He's confident. He backs himself. And yeah, he's a good bloke, like I said. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes on tour.
I just love how much you lads are plotting already to sabotage his duty of carrying Bill.
Oh, big time. I can't, mate. We're gonna. Oh, it's the one thing I'm not looking at. I'm looking forward to the tour, but obviously I think that's my number one thing that I can't wait to do. Oh, it's going to be good fun.
Our producer, who's not on tonight, but our producer is basically Gen Z, and he's become pretty obsessed about Pollock. So what is he actually like?
He's actually a very good lad. I mean, I was playing golf with him yesterday, and he's the worst person to play golf with. Doesn't pick up the flag, walks over your line. He was taking my golf clubs off the back of the buggy, and every time he hit a shot, he's like, "Me, I think that's dead." I'm like, "It's not dead. It's down the fairway." He just keeps saying it's dead. But like he's full of energy. He's a really good lad to have around the squad. Like he's only 20, but he's a bit of a leader already. Like barking at boys around him. And as you boys know, you actually need players like that. The energy that he brings is actually class, and he's backing up on the field, which we love. So he's actually a very good bloke, and he's even though I hate to say it, he's obviously class on the pitch as well. So he's a hell of a boy to have around.
Yeah, he's absolutely backed up, and again, brilliant to see Bolter. But what's special about Saints or the academy setup, do you think, that allows such a player like that to come through? But equally, Mitch, there's so many in that Saints team that obviously play in the European final that have come through the academy system. What is it at Northampton that they've got right that allows people like Pollock to burst in the scene like he has?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think Saints get it quite well with the academy. They back the younger boys. So even this year, we see 18, 19-year-olds, Johnny Weeman, all making their first starts in the Premiership, and they give the younger boys confidence and chances to actually put the hand up and play. And there's obviously a good setup at Saints. Everyone's got different houses. So you're living together. And yeah, I don't really know what else. It's quite a good setup. I think we were quite lucky with Chris Boyd. When we came through, he kind of backed us young boys to play, and he give you so much confidence to go out and play your game. So yeah, some of the coaches here has been fantastic. Phil Dowson and Sam Vesti, as of now, are also class with him. So it's a hell of a setup that we've actually got there.
Talking about the Nines of the Lions, obviously you, Gibson Park, and Thomas Williams. Do you know them? And if not, are you looking forward to getting to know them on the tour?
Yeah, I don't really know them. I met them a few times after matches, but you don't really get to know someone that well. But yeah, I can't wait to meet them. Obviously, quality players. I'd say they're the best nines around at the moment. So it'd be nice to pick their brains, see what they're like. Because as you know, Len, all scrum-halves are different, how they train and how they play the game and how they see it. Some lads are ultra professional, some lads are loose as you like. So it'd be nice to see what kind of characters they are and what they bring to the squad. So yeah, I can't wait. If they're one of my roomies, that'd be quite a cool way to do it.
Do you know what's lovely, Mitch, is the fact that for me, I think you all bring like different parts of the game, but equally you all have a wonderful running game. Like you're all genuine threats, you snipers, you bring huge amount of tempo and speed of ball. So like there's a consistent theme with like the 3 nines he's picked, and equally the 3 best nines that he could pick, he's picked, which is wonderful to see. But I want to ask Mitch, like, how important is it, do you think, the fact that you get to play with Finn Smith week in, week out, and that sort of, you've already got that relationship with a 9-10 and being able to slot in as a pair? Equally, those guys don't necessarily have that, but how nice it to have someone reassuring if you do get to play with him in the Lions shirt. You may be with Russell, you may be with Mark Smith, but 2 of those 10s already. Like, that's quite a nice safety blanket, I guess.
I think so, yeah. I think I'm quite lucky, especially with at Northampton, me and Finneman moving up to England. We have a good little partnership, and it kind of, the more you guys know, it's the more you play with someone, the more you kind of get to learn how they play, how they feel, the confidence you get from that. So yeah, I think obviously Marcus and Finn going on tour is going to be huge for us. So we'll try and imprint a bit of our, whether it's Northampton or England game plan into that, and however we do that is probably the best. But it's it's fantastic to have, I think, across the board. It's them partnerships are key. And yeah, I personally can't wait. I don't know how they're going to do it in regards to selection, but I'm just going to take it, take the next couple of weeks as it goes, and then just look forward to the tour.
Mitch, when you obviously faced Gibson Park the other week against Leinster for Northampton, which was an absolute cracker of a game, did you feel like going into that it was a bit of a showdown between you two and other positions? There was a lot of chat about Finn Smith and Prendergast, of course, and Tommy Freeman and James Lowe, but certainly we spoke about on the podcast, didn't we, Cole? I was really looking forward to you two going at it, and you were superb. Like, did you enjoy that? Were you aware of that going into the game, that was a chance to kind of lay down a mark ahead of that announcement?
Yeah, I think so. You obviously see the stuff on social media, the head-to-heads. But yeah, obviously, it's for me. I actually don't try and think about it too much. I try and think about your own game plan, your own performance. I think also as nines, you don't actually get to go head to head too much, apart from at the scrum. They just have a
Yeah.
quick chat there, but you don't actually. It's not like a back rowers at the breakdown. You don't actually, like you say, go one on one versus each other. But yeah, it was obviously class to go against the best. That's the kind of games you want to play in. And it was class to play against him. He was quality as well, and yeah, it was a tough game, and we managed to get the win.
The celebrations afterwards, obviously it's a massive game, but was there added spice and sort of the pre-game tunnel and stuff like that? Because we sort of heard that Leinster were fairly confident in their ways and may have sort of tried to provoke you guys a bit. And just to say, doing them in the manner you did, was that an extra sort of incentive to play and win, put it that way?
I think so, yeah. I think we quite liked that everyone kind of wrote us up before the game. I think I saw a thing on social media that the lambs to slaughter, poor boys. And I was like, I don't know what it was on. I was like, oh, fair enough. I was like, are we the lambs to slaughter? I hope not. But there is obviously that kind of gives you that extra motivation. And like you said in the tunnel, I would say there was a few lads, obviously you face forwards to go out. A few lads actually turned to face towards them and kind of, I don't know if they G'd themselves up or try to get in their heads a bit. I won't say who it was. It's quite funny, but it's, they obviously kind of stared down their opposite numbers and tried to give them a bit of beef, and that could have worked. I don't know if it did or whatnot, but I think just trying to sort of change the game and put a bit of pressure back on them. And obviously I think bits of it probably worked.
Mitch, were you tempted, mate, to eyeball someone out, mate, or did you very much stay facing forward?
I stayed facing forward. I think I was facing the other way. I was facing the right hand side and I was sub bench like that. Ignore them, lads, they're not there. No, I was obviously I'm very relaxed, you know what I'm like, and very next job. So yeah, I faced forward, lucky enough.
And like the intensity of that game, Mitch, would you put it same as test level? Like from the outside, it certainly looked like that. Would you put it as test level, and do you expect to have the same sort of level intensity against Bordeaux this weekend?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'd say it's probably one of the toughest games I've actually played in. I think it was test level, if not hard. I mean, afterwards we all battered and bruised, and yeah, it was tough on the lungs. It was very physical, very attritional. Yeah, very one of the hardest games you play. Obviously, playing against one of the best sides in Europe, if not the world. And like you said, I think the final is going to be very similar. So yeah, I personally can't wait for that. I think we need to expect that. We need to expect to go again. Obviously, dips in emotion. We've obviously had a huge spike against Leinster, but the job's not finished. Obviously, we've got another huge final in Wales against Bordeaux, who are quality side, if not up there, or better than Leinster. So we'll have to go again and get a result.
And with those, like the Leinster game and the final, how much is do you look at the opposition and try and stop them, and how much is basically we're going to play our game? Northampton, obviously, you've got great ball players, great running game. How much of the game is you're going to put your product on the field rather than bothering too much with the opposition, if you see what I mean?
Yeah, I think at the start of the week, you obviously look at the opposition. We always have like little strategy meetings of what they're going to bring, what challenges they have, what individuals they have, and you kind of need to be aware of that and accept that and appreciate that. Obviously, quality individuals, but I think against Leinster, they pretty much got a star-studded team, 15 and 23. So we didn't actually focus on that too much. We kind of focused on ourselves. Obviously, appreciate their firepower, but we know we're a quality side. We've got confidence in our side, and we've got quality players as well. We spoke about they've got internationals, but so have we. We've got quality players, and so have they. So we can go toe to toe with them. And that's kind of the mentality. We kind of went in, why not us? Why can't we beat them at the Aviva? And I think that was a great thing to have for the week. And yeah, I think we mainly at the end of the week focused on ourselves, knew we were good enough to beat them, and kind of went and did the job.
Mitch, when you start previewing teams, Bordeaux got a big old pack. But is that something you look forward to, given your sniping game, mate, and the way that you bounce out of rucks, start pumping the ball and look for those little inroads? Is that almost the bigger the player, the better, because you know that they're probably going to give you more opportunities?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, until they get hold of you, it's not too bad.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No, obviously, yeah, they're obviously a huge pack, and you can kind of pick on that, try and play with a bit of tempo and move them around, and you can get rewards from that. But you've also got to appreciate that both sides of the ball. So we need to look after that, but they're obviously big boys that could move as well. So I don't want to be throwing too many dummies and putting back on my arse. So you just need to find the right balance of when to play, when to turn them, and do all that kind of thing. And it's personally, I can't wait. It's going to be an exciting game.
We had Will Genya on the pod the other week, Mitch, and I was asking him about his running game. He had a terrific running game like yourself. And I was asking, like, how much was it practice and how much was it just instinctive? Like, where does it fall for you? Is it instinctive, or is it through repetition of practice and looking for cues?
It's a good question. I think it's probably a mixture of both. I think probably more towards the instinctive side, but it's hard to say that because obviously I'm constantly training it. In training, I'm always trying to get the ball up fast and test defenders, and a lot of the time it doesn't come off. Sometimes you do get buried, you do get eaten up, and that's kind of helps you. It's the learning you get from that, and it's willing to fail in training. And if you watch games, sometimes I've run down dark alleys and not come out on the good side of it. So yeah, it's just one of them. You got to keep training it, keep putting yourself under pressure, and sometimes you do get the rewards. So it's definitely that right. It's finding that right balance between them.
More from Mitch very shortly, but I just want to remind the listeners that myself and Coley decided to go on a little bit of a health plan, get more aware about informed decisions, didn't we, Coley? So we started our Thriver subscription blood test journey 5 months ago. And it was the perfect time for us because January we'd had a good Christmas and we were ready to have a look at our health. And given the fact I'm retiring, I now have some very good markers from when I was a professional rugby player to what I'm going to be like when I'm not a professional rugby player and I'm just a full-time media outlet for the love of rugby.
Yes, no, we started our health journey with Thriver. We both subscribed, got our blood testing kits through the post. I've actually done my second one. I did that in March, end of March, got the results start of April. And yeah, I've been, looking at the results recently, seen where I've had to change things. I've markedly improved my cholesterol, you'll be glad to know. That's come down, and my blood lipid levels. Let me just get the app. I'll just open it up. It's literally on my phone, so I can just do this. Boom, boom, open it up. I can view my full report, and I'll let you know, Ben, that my apolipoproteins proteins are coming in the right direction, which is good to know, isn't it? I don't know how to say it. But yeah, the triglyceride HDL ratios, those kind of stuff, moving in the right direction, which is a big focus from my first set of results. I followed your lead, Ben, and got my omega-3s and 6s tested because you said you were, I think last time, you could get a better ratio. And I have had my test. My omega-3 index is normal. But in some of the comments on the app, it's told me basically I could do with a few more omega-3s, like an omega-3 supplement, just to help increase that ratio from 3s to 6s. So that's what I've done. And hopefully, in my next set of results, which I should do probably end of May, I should hopefully see an improvement in those.
Do you know what I like about it, Coley? Is the fact that when you think you're doing the right thing and eating the right thing and exercising and looking after yourself and looking after your health, and you think you're doing all the bits that you should be doing, this actually gives you the evidence of whether you are or where you're falling short or where you're doing a great job. Because so often you can just you can eat healthy and get moving and everything like that, but you still can be deficient in certain areas. So you could have the cleanest month of eating, but you still won't know that you could be deficient in things like omega-3s. You still could be deficient in your iron levels. And that's where it's so informed and you can see that. And then you can just sort of cater and tailor to whatever you need. And that's why I love it for me, mate. Genuinely, I think it allows you to kind of just hone in certain areas where you may think you've got it covered, but actually it tells you in black and white, oh no, actually I am, or actually I need to up this slightly.
Yeah, I think I've done, in some regards, mine's probably the other way. I think sometimes with my, with the Thriver stuff that I have, like during the day, say you might feel tired, fatigued, and it's kind of like, oh, I must be deficient in something. I might be this and the other. Actually check the levels and your normal or way should be. And actually it's the other stuff like my sleep and actual recovery and actually taking time to chill out and stuff that I've brought in as well as some of the more dietary stuff, because I think that's, as a sportsman, you kind of want to be on top performance all the time, but you should worry about I'm deficient here. And sometimes you, how should I say it, probably burn the candle at both ends a bit in regards to, you sort of go, oh, well, I must be something wrong here and there because I'm feeling tired, or actually a lot of the blood markers and stuff are pretty good. Yes, there's slight improvements you can make here and there, but it's the whole holistic, actually, I'll go to bed earlier and, that and the other, rather than trying to find a miracle cure. And I think it's just the Thrivers have been really reassuring for me in regards to, yes, it's helped me sort of probably fine tune where I'm at. But at the same time, it lets me know that, yeah, there is nothing totally wrong with me, which is quite nice to know.
There's been lots of nice comments lately, actually, Coley, on our Instagram about how well you're looking. Is that all down to Thriver?
Well, it plays a part, Ben. It plays a part the fact that I aged rapidly at 24 and have looked this old since then, as you probably found out my recent birthday posts that people put up and like to remind me of how I sort of rapidly changed between 18 and 24, and after that stayed the same. But as I said before, it just helps. It does help refine what you're doing. I think, as you probably have found, as I find, being 38 now, you can't do what I did in my 20s when it comes to rugby. Like, back in the day, you'd sort of train, go on the piss, don't sleep, all that kind of stuff. Diet was in and out. Whereas now I think I definitely feel, so after I played a game, it takes me 2 or 3 days. It takes me a day or two longer to recover. And I say, when we've got to train, and as you get older, you don't really get that. The week stays the same in regards to we're still training on a Monday, on a Tuesday. So I think with Thriver, it's helped me just, as I say, reel in some habits. And it's just helped me focus my performance, because to get ready for the weekend and get ready to train again, you want to make the most of this final couple of years of your career. And I think Thriver's done a great job in helping me just stay on track with those goals and realise what you're doing right and what you're not doing right.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely interested in tracking from where my start of my journey's been in January to all the way through to when I play my last game, to then even in next January. So I've got a full year of tracking it, which will be half whilst I was playing and half when I'm retired. So even my family's been inspired to do it. My brother has done it. He forgot to put the code in though. Charlotte has been inspired, my wife. She's done one as well now. So mate, I'm getting the whole family's getting involved with it, because once you explain it to people and you understand and they actually see it on the app formation and they realise how easy it is to track and follow and get the information, you can see why so many people want to do it, Coley. So if you want to do it, we better share the information, Coley. What they got to do?
Well, your brother should have used the code Love of Rugby, all one word, all capital letters, and he would have got 20% off. But if the listeners or viewers would like to make a informed choice about their health and their lifestyle, give Thriver a go. The link is in our episode description. And if people sign up, use the code Love of Rugby, they will get 20% off the first test.
That is Love of Rugby for 20% off your first blood test. Mitch, do you want to explain why you're a little bit hoarse, why your throat's gone, mate?
Yeah, sorry lads, I've just been out for dinner with the family and the Rents, and it's just a 2.5 hour dinner out with them, just peppering me with questions about the Lions, tickets and all that stuff. So it's the voice is a bit tickly today.
Are they? I'm assuming they're coming out. Are they coming out to watch? Surely they're coming out to watch.
They want to, yeah. But they're asking about tickets. When's this? When's that? And I don't have a Scooby. I'm focusing on this weekend, let alone the tour. But it's but yeah, I think they are all looking to come out. An excuse to go to Australia, I think.
Rich, is there much difference in the way you're asked to play for, say, England and Saints? Saints obviously run the ball loads. England, obviously, Test match rugby seems a little bit more tighter, more kicking. Is there a difference in the way you're asked to play, or is it just you naturally just find your own? You don't find your own team, but you know what I mean. You know the differences in yourself between Test match and club rugby.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's too much of a difference. I think any game I kind of go into, so I lose my voice again. I had the same sort of mindset. I want to get the ball up fast, want to test the breakdown, test defenders. But yeah, you obviously know club rugby, there's a lot more space, a lot more time on the ball than Test match rugby. So you need to find that right balance of kicking, passing. The defence is a lot better, like you said, and sometimes you do need to adapt your game or adapt to the game plan that the coaches give you. But it's for me, I always try and go with the same mindset, and I don't try and change too much personally.
Yeah, I think with Test match rugby, isn't it, Mitch? Like every decision is heightened more, and as a 9, you touch the ball more than anyone else, and the consequences that you get away with maybe at club level, you just don't do it internationally. And I think to jump on your answer as well, because it's something that I always had as well, Mitch, like you play a certain way, and then you go to test level, and you have to adapt your game. But I think that's one of your key strengths, mate, is the ability, the fact that you can adapt and do all that, and your opportunities become less at test level, yet you're still creating them. And equally, you have to manage the game slightly different than you would do at a club game. But ultimately, it makes you more rounded anyway. And I just think it's a constant evolvement for a 9, isn't it? Trying to get that balance, because the way that you shape up and play against South Africa, for instance, is a different mindset to the week later, let's say when you're playing against an Australia or you're prepping to play against Wales. Like each opponent you play, you as a 9 who gets more touch than anyone, that has a role in terms of territory, tempo and everything like that, you'll dictate the ultimate game plan as such, don't you?
100%, yeah. Like you said, in test matches, you have probably half a second less time on the ball. And the other thing is, you go into a game and you have a game plan in your head, how you're going to play it. But as you know, every game is different. How it pans out, yellow cards, red cards. So you need to appreciate that, what you need to do in different scenarios, what's going well for your team, what's not, and you need to go from there. So it is a fine line, but it's a tough balance to get right the whole time, and it's one of them you just need to keep working on.
Yeah, we're doing a great job. Say, my question was a compliment in some regards. Say, it was about the ability of a 9 like yourself be able to play multiple different styles. And say, as you answered it, no, but that's say credit to you. To say the way you nailed down the England shirt and been playing brilliantly throughout the World Cup and to now and stuff like that, and Saints as well. It's been it's great to see that. Say you've got so many levels to your game, which is what Test players do, don't they? The ability to play multiple styles, which is great. I've got a couple of questions. If you two, as you're both 9s, if I'm going to create the ultimate scrum half, I just need, probably off the top of your head, a few names. If you would say like who's got the best technical pass as a 9. You pick anyone you want.
Oh, Aaron Smith, I'd say.
I'd go say Aaron Smith. Yeah, I think it looks good because he follows through, but he has got a quality pass.
Best kicker of the ball?
I'd probably maybe say Conor Moy's pretty good. I'd put him up there. Consistent.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Mitch. I'd agree with that. I would say the only one I would say though is Dupont, because he's so good on both feet.
Running game?
You could probably pick Dupont for pretty much a lot of these, couldn't you?
Might embarrass you here, but Mitch's running game, extremely strong. But I guess Dupont has that, like he's so compact that he actually breaks tackles that he has no right to break.
Yeah, you kind of see how strong he is. Like he's so mobile. It's like a small little robot. A lot of the time I try and go through gaps. He doesn't. He just finds 2 big forwards and goes, I'm going through that anyway, and then finds an offload and finds a way through. So it's just, yeah, his game is unreal.
Who's the best speed of ball from the breakdown? Just constant sort of service and no messing around.
It's got to be one of the Japanese 9, surely. Like the way that they are rapid.
You know them all, do you, Len?
They are quick. Nato, is that Toulon? Is he at
Yeah,
Toulon
Nato.
or Toulouse?
Yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah,
he's quick. I'll also go a blast from the past. Lee Dixon. You probably played with him then, but he was just breakdown away. You kind of learned a lot from him, just especially at Northampton, and he was quality at that, wasn't he?
He was very fast in and out. To be fair, Collie, that we've touched on a lot, to be fair, about speed of ball. And Mitch, you come up a lot about it. I think your speed of ball's quality. I think Gibson Park brings a lot of speed of ball to tempo. But I think you're probably like Lee Dixon was someone that went ruck to ruck, and you blink and he was there, ready to pass it away. It's also the 9s that are waiting for the guy to place the ball back, and they're already in a position just to fire it away. Like I haven't got to be that fit is a strength in its own.
Yeah. It is just a game plan of just getting the ball away. Turns out how heavy my weekend's been the week before, but it is something that's I always try and get after.
So if you blow up after 60, Mitch, we know that you had a good weekend, mate, on the booze.
You know why? Oh, he's been on the beers again. Get him off. Nah, joking. I don't drink beers.
Who's just got the best looks / vibe? Who's the coolest 9?
I would say Will Kenya's pretty cool, but I don't really know him.
Yeah, he was very good on the pod the other week, mate. He was just chilled. He looked like he was in a classroom as well. Like he had some in the background, there was loads of chairs and stuff, like in some exam hall. Willie Genya would definitely be up there.
I put you in there, Len. You in DC.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that much.
Lenny from a few years ago, mate.
In terms of the most the 9 that gives the most chat, who are you putting in that, Mitch? Because I would say Nick White is pretty good. Like there was a maul once. I can't remember. It wasn't against England. It was on. You picked up on the ref mic, and I think the Aussies were getting mauled by something. He's like, "Is anyone going to stop that? Is anyone going to stop that?" Like shouting his own team. And I thought, do you know what? That's great. Like he's not only dishing out to the opposition, he's also dishing out to his own team in a test match.
No, he is quality. I played against him a few times. I say Gus Wall at Sale. I mean, he's actually a really good lad, but he's just constant with his class finger tape. But he's he just constantly giving it chirp, and he's actually very good at it. He does sometimes get in your head and fair play, right, next job.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like it's a bit of a forgotten art. The nines like chatting and sledging. It's sort of a bit of a forgotten art, but there's still a few lads that still bring it. And no, I'm with you, Mitch. I respect it. I like it.
Yeah, I think coaches need to appreciate it. It does put people off, and it's a quality little talent to have.
It's a skill. It is a skill. I don't have that skill. I'm not a very good chirper.
A nine that chat shit, it is frustrating because A, I'm never going to get near them, and B, I say you can just scamper off. It's like, you know what I mean? Like if the forward talks it, he's going to get belted at some point, whereas a nine, there's pretty much no chance of getting near him. It's often like a winger when a winger joins. The wingers think are the worst because when they join in, they literally just scamper back to the wing and you're like, brilliant. But yeah. But nines, you guys are tough, so I'll give it to you.
We're close to the action, mate, but we're close enough to the action that we can tell someone else to get in front of us so that we're not ever actually in the action.
Well, I think you're smart enough. Nines are sort of close enough to the forwards to know that not to get on the wrong side of them, but just enough chat to sort of wind people up. And whereas like wingers, I think, are thick, so they just don't know what they're doing, so they just can chat shit and then disappear.
Yeah, they are. It's always fun to just launch someone and then like kind of sneak back and get the big boys just to come in front of you. I didn't touch you. I did not touch you. That's the best thing to do. Just watch it kick off.
Spark it and then get out of the way and let everyone else like deal with it.
That is always good crack.
You mentioned Danny Kerr there briefly. He actually, well, as we know, he retired last week. Either you, would you like to say anything nice about him as you brought him up?
Yeah, obviously, I think I've got a photo. I think it came out on the England O2's Inside Line, obviously, when I was like 14 and 15. Obviously, watched Len and himself for many years. Obviously, a bit of a legend and a quality player.
You only wanted a photo of one of them, though, right?
Well, Lenny wasn't there. It was a Harlequins training session. If Lenny was there, I probably would have gone to him first, and then I would have gone to DC. But no, obviously, he's been quality for years, and how you boys have done it for so many years. I mean, I feel like I'm breaking down now, so it's credit to you lads, and he's a great bloke as well.
Yeah, I echo that. I think Danny's been, what Danny's been is a fantastic servant to both Quins, England, and just rugby in general. Like a fantastic bloke. Mitch knows him well as well. Like he's a top bloke, ultimate team man, cares deeply for the team, wants to put the team first. Incredibly competitive, but in the right way. And no, he's been an amazing servant, and what a career he's had. So he's a very good friend. I've very much enjoyed getting to know him, competing in the right way. And he gets to bow out the end of this year, and another one of us is gone, mate. Us nines, we can't go forever, Coley. You tightheads seem to go longer than us nines.
Just don't get the ball, mate. Probably best.
Right, Bordeaux this weekend, Mitch. Would you say a European final is bigger than the Premiership final last year?
I think we appreciate it's a massive game, but we're actually saying a bit last week. It does have a bit of a different feel. I think as a kid, you always watching the Premiership, and for me, it's always been a goal to kind of win it. The Champions Cup, I think, because we see it and we don't actually see many English teams win it. It feels like it's a goal, but it's quite hard to attain. So obviously it's a better competition, but it will have a different feel to it. I mean, I personally can't wait. It is probably the best trophy in rugby you can win, best team in Europe. So yeah, we can't wait. We're relishing that one game to try and win it. Saints haven't won it in over 20 years, and it's a tough competition to win. So yeah, we've got a chance this weekend to try and go out and do a job on Bordeaux. And personally, I can't wait, and the boys are buzzing to go.
It is mad because me and Len played for a million years, and we've never been near a European final. I think we lost a semi once, but just to have that opportunity, it's almost to say, not lightly in a bottle, but it comes around once, almost every 10 years in some regards. I think the last Saints one was 10 years ago, wasn't it? And say it's just such a, not a free shot, but you know what I mean? Say Premierships, you almost expect to win. You go well in the season, and there's sort of an expectation on you to perform in some regards. Whereas like Europe is, it's great, and as you say, you're the best team in Europe, potentially the best team in Europe, and it's going to be massive. But I think it's probably one of those things that you don't really appreciate because, say, you spend all your life, Premiership. That Europe's, it's probably one of the things when you look back on, you're like, fucking hell, we won Europe, and that was actually really hard thing to do.
I think so, yeah. I think it gets put on the back burner a bit sometimes, doesn't it? And I think the extra thing this year, no one expected us to get here. No one expected us to get to the semi. No one expected us to do a job against Leinster, and I think we're underdogs for the final against Bordeaux. So Yeah, it's kind of quality to be in that position. Kind of like the chains off. It gives you so much confidence to go out there and do a job. And yeah, I personally can't wait. And I don't think many teams can say that they won a Champions Cup. So hopefully we can go do the job. But yeah, I personally can't wait. It's gonna be a tough game, but it's gonna be a good one.
Mitch, what do you put like you've obviously hit such form in Europe, like, and that momentum. Like, was there a particular game? Like, we spoke to Freemo the other week, and he reckons that when you played the Bulls away, you had a particular loose week, let's say, but then you got the job done. Was that almost a catalyst for the momentum in Europe? Like, can you pinpoint a moment?
Yeah, I think so. It happened last year. I think we beat Munster away with 14 men, and that kind of gave us that catalyst into the Premiership, because then we were into the Premiership and we didn't stop winning after that. But yeah, I think the Bulls, I think, again, everyone wrote us off going there. I don't think anyone's won in Pretoria in a couple of years. I think only 2 teams have won in the last 10 years. And I think beating a team like that, a quality team away from home, it gives you that confidence, that belief within that squad. Because you can always say the words, but actually going out there, getting a result, you can actually look around and appreciate, actually, we've got the players to do this. So I think that kind of set us off. And then obviously playing against, I think we had Munster, and then Clermont did a job on them. Cast, quality French opposition, really gave us that belief to push on to the semi-final. And we knew we could do it within our circle. Obviously, everyone didn't believe us outside our circle, but we knew within it. And then hopefully we can do the same in the final, 100%.
Do you feel, having played those French teams like Cast and Clermont, it gives you an added sort of insight into how to play Bordeaux? Obviously, Bordeaux are a better side. They're flying high in the top 14. But, French rugby can be a bit different to what we have in the Premiership week in, week out. But having that experience against those 2 teams with the physicality, with the sort of pace of the game, do you reckon that helps you massively this weekend?
I think you've got to appreciate French sides are a bit different. Big pack, good set piece. And they go hammer and tongs at the breakdown. So you need to appreciate that, look after that side. And obviously they've got quality individuals throughout their side as well. So yeah, you've got to look after that. But like I said previously, it's we don't want to focus too much on them. We know their quality, beating sides for fun. But we just need to look after ourselves. We know if we get a performance, we're likely to get a result. So that's the main thing we're focusing on, and that's the one thing we're going after.
For some of your team, Mitch, it'll be the first time they play at Cardiff. Will you go check out the pitch before? Obviously, you've played there, but not everyone within the Saints team has played there. Will you do your last sort of run through at the stadium beforehand and let everyone sort of take that in, so they understand the magnitude and what a special stadium that is, and kind of get to visualise what that would look like?
I think so, yeah. I think we go down on a Friday morning, and we do like a little team run. That's not like a run as a team, that's like a little walkthrough, as you boys know. And yeah, we'll have a look at the stadium, look at the changing rooms, and kind of enjoy the atmosphere and what it has to hold. But I think a lot of our boys now have played in big games. We played in semi-finals, we played in finals at Twickenham. Last year we had big games at Croke Park in front of 90,000 people. So we're actually in a really good space there. I think that's what helped us in the semi-final versus Leinster. A lot of boys took that confidence that we love playing in front of these crowds, and we can push on. So it's it's obviously a different stadium, but boys have been there before, and yeah, we personally can't wait. I think it's going to be a good one.
Who will take the lead this week? Who will be like the key drivers in terms of driving that game plan, driving the way that you guys want to play, and building the emotion for the week?
I think it comes from a mixture of players. We've got a good game drivers group. We always sit down on Tuesdays and Thursdays and talk about what emotions we need, what kind of key messages we need. So the likes of Dingers, Colsey, Furbank, Kemeny been quality this year. Curtis Langdon leading the emotion. But boys across the park are going to get after that and kind of lead different things, whether it's Curtis in the scrum or Colsey in the line out. Dingers or Furbs defensively is just spread across the kind of the players, so it's not just down to one player. And then it's everyone's job individually to get themselves in a good mindset and ready for the weekend.
Well, Mitch, on behalf of For Love Rugby, we wish you and Northampton all the very best. You wouldn't have that very often, 2 Leicester lads, but genuinely, I hope you boys go and do it, mate. We'll be a Saints fan for 80 minutes or even 90 or however long it takes to get the job done. So best of luck, mate. And also, congratulations on line selection. Have the best tour ever, mate. And fully deserves. And again, we will be supporting you and all the others from afar, mate. So good luck, and I hope you get what you deserve at the weekend, and that is hands on that trophy.
Cheers, lads. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, Mitch. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers, boys.
Right. Ben, we have a question from our listeners. A question from Keith. I noticed in your Lions draft, a lot of players have a surname that can also be a first name. George Mine, James Ryan, etc. Can you pick the best team of players with first names as surnames? Thanks. Well, I was once told, Ben, never trust a man with two first names. So...
Yeah, I mean, you've got like guys like Will Stewart. You've got Mitch, Alex Mitchell. Jamie George.
Alex Mitchell, yeah.
Maybe the listeners should help us on this. Comment below.
They should.
They should do this. Get involved. Comment below. Whoever picks the best team, we will then read it out.
We want some, like, as well, I'm sure, because Cole is like an American first name, so, but I don't think Dan Cole counts as that. But yeah, we should probably do a team. I'm just trying to think other people off the top of my head who we could have as, just trying to think of loose heads.
We'll leave it to listeners, mate. They'll come up with it. This is their challenge.
Well, like Dan Kelly, he's got like, well, Kelly's a male first name, isn't it? Because Kelly Brown. So yeah, him. I'm just thinking of my lesser teammates quickly.
Yeah, I think it's for the listeners to get involved. We need your help on this one.
I don't know if Earl is Earl. Well, I suppose Ben Earl. There is an American football player called Earl Campbell. Bit of an Americanism. I think at a stretch, we can use like American first names like Cole or Earl. So that's what I think anyway. I'll be the judge of it. But yeah, if listeners send in their recommendations, we'll pick a team of them.
Well, question from Ellie Coley. Does Dan have to wear sunscreen when he's playing on a sunny day? Does he have to reapply himself at half time, or does this make him too slippy?
I use more of a sunblock, I found. A reef-friendly UPF 50 sunblock, which is sort of a zinc oxide. I think zinc oxide is one of the zinc things, but basically, yeah, Max more as a block, because obviously I have a big head. I have no hair on my head. I'm very light-skinned. So yeah, during the week, I like to slap on the sunblock. During the games, it's a bit harder because it often gets in my eyes. I can't see. And sometimes you sweat it out in the warm-up before you actually get to the game. So I just try to spend most of my time in the shade on game day. I did once play a game in Sale. It was the last game of the season, and it was about 30 degrees. And I made sure that every huddle, break in play, we went and stood on the side of the field where you run out, because that's where the shade from the main stand was. And people looked at me funny, but actually I was smart. Just a smart footballer, Ben.
You're smart, mate. Actually, I literally just thinking about this, and then I had a flashback to years and years ago when I was coming through the academy. We played in the Ashby Sevens. Big shout out to Ashby. And we played in the Sevens tournament there, and Alex Martin, Big Al, who's now head of S&C at Bath Rugby. A fantastic guy, one of the best you ever come across. Anyway, he was sort of coming through at that point. He was early in his S&C career, and he was warming us up, and it was a real hot day. Anyway, Big Al is fair-skinned, and he prides himself on, being hydrated, and he's a real disciplined human being. And he ended up getting sunstroke halfway through the day. So he ended up sitting in a car with the window down, warming us up, mate, with the aircon on. And he was like shivering and shaking, and like he was absolutely like red as hell. Like he was all over the place, and he's having to warm us up while sitting in the car with the window down. And he was mortified because this guy prides himself on delivering the best. So big shout out to Al Martin.
Wasn't it like a cloudy day as well? I'm pretty sure it was overcast.
Yeah, no, it was. It wasn't even like particularly like. I mean, it was sunny, but it wasn't like. It was slightly. There was clouds in the sky, and mate, honestly, it was genius. So, Big Al, good on you, mate. Just when you thought you got away with it, I'd like to resurface that one for you.
Right, the Investec Champions Cup Final is Saturday, and the Challenge Cup Final is on Friday night. Both games are in Cardiff. If you want tickets, go to the link in our episode description. It should be a great weekend. Two English teams in the finals. History could be made. You want to be there because these things don't happen very often.
Our European coverage is presented by JACU, official automotive partners of the Investec Champions Cup and the EPCR Challenge Cup. Thank you, Coley. See you later in the week, mate.
See you soon.